I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in the UK test part 493. We're doing leg stretching, and if you participate in the leg stretching, which is the arm risk, and the main subject of today's video will be the first word war, so we're going to speak about war. So we're bringing one leg in front with the heel onto the ground, and if you participate in the exercise, this is the arm risk. And we're pulling the toes in, and from time to time we're going to contract the quad muscles. So just keep the leg there, pull the toes a bit in, and then contract the quad muscles. And that's starting. So contract the quad muscles. Do all the exercises at your own pace. Okay, the idea is we already learned it all, but now we're going through the whole book again, and we're always looking for a little topic, for a little subject about which we can make a little separate video, which we explain it all down, so that we can come just back in a few years and have it all in a presentation ready, and other people can find this video, and so on. So the First World War. I don't think, the question is, do we have to do it all in one video? It's not that much written here. It's almost nothing written here, it's just not even a whole page. Okay, no problem. I thought it was going to be 5-6 pages. We already had it all, but it looked more or less all together. But it's the Second World War already. The Second World was a little bit more. And we're releasing the contraction. So the only thing will be First World War. I don't think we can make an own video about which led up to the First World War. It's just not enough really written here. It's just the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, and also a bit about the mood. We made a video in the previous part about the mood of Britain, where we talked about the expansion of the empire, the navy of Britain, the global superpower, and also the changes financial help for unemployed people, protection for mothers and their children after separation or divorce, pension, and we're contracting again the quad muscles. We talk a bit about it, but we cannot do it in a separate video. So we will just do one video about it. Okay, I was just wondering, did we even say who won? The victory for Britain and its allies, did it end on the 11th of November 1918? Okay, just one video to the First World War. At the beginning of the 20th century, we were releasing the contraction. I'm trying to rehearse a little bit, so I'm not really leading or moderating through the video, I'm trying to rehearse. So at the beginning of the 20th century, there was an area of optimism in Britain. Britain was a global superpower, it had an expansive empire, we're contracting again, and it had a well-admired navy and a thriving industry. Throughout whole of Europe, in the previous years, in the upcoming years, in the years prior to 1914, there was increased militarism and also imperialism. Europe was divided in two camps. The Allied powers and the I want to have it written, not just say it. Central powers, okay. Allies against Central powers. We're releasing a contraction last time. Into two camps, the Central powers and the Allied powers. The Allies were, for example, differently than the Second World War. So France, Russia, Japan, Belgium, Serbia, and Britain. It's a little bit. Britain was part. Okay, Britain, France, Russia, Japan. Which do we name? Let's make it easy. We will have to a whole procedure of First World War. We're contracting last time. Just the Battle of the Somme here named. So we're not going to start the video with a big listing of countries if you can just name one single battle. We haven't even said how the battle ended. I actually don't know it. I think it did not went on till the end of the First World War. So there was a victor, probably, a part of the whole victory of the Allies. But I don't know. Okay, there were the Allied powers, which were, for example, the Allied powers and the Central powers. Let's end with that. And then the Allied powers were, for example, Britain, France, Britain and France, let's keep it short. Britain, France, Italy could be important. Italy was in the Second World War, the other side, mostly from the war. That changed a couple of times. We're having the other leg in front and we're putting the toast in and we're contracting the port muscles. I think naming Italy would add to the idea that the whole empire was fighting. Italy was not part of the British Empire, but the whole world was fighting. So Britain, France, Italy, and the United States. Britain, France, Italy, the United States. And the Central Powers. Germany, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. Make just all of these three. Germany, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Ottoman Empire. It was a global war. There were many battles fought in Europe. For example, the Battle of the Somme in July 19... It lasted longer than July 1916. The Battle of the Somme. Where did it happen that during the Battle of Somme on the 19th July, what did I say about 19th? Just July. Where on the Battle of the Somme in July 1916, we were releasing the leg, but we're giving the stage, we're releasing the contraction. Where did it happen that 60,000 British casualties were recorded just on the first day? And all over the war, more than 2 million. How many died? Casualties died and wounded. 2 million British casualties were recorded. And we're contracting again with core muscles. It was also a global war. More than 1 million Indians fought on behalf of Britain, and over 40,000 died. The First World War ended then on the 11th November 1918 at 11 o'clock and 11 minutes, I think. No, just 11:00. 11 o'clock, 11th November 1918, and that day is in Britain. Maybe I should add something in the title that it is a British perspective, but it's very short, really just very short. On the 11th November 1918, and the 11th November is in Britain an important, what is it called? We are contracting again. Memorial Day is chapter is called Customs and Traditions, Main Christian Festivals, Other Religious Festivals, Other Festivals and Traditions. Now, what is Remembrance Day? No full thing. There's a big commemoration day, the Remembrance Day. The 11th November is every year in Britain a big Remembrance Day, a commemoration day, I can say both times. And at 11 o'clock, there is a 2-minute silence at the Senate House in Whitehall in London. We are going to the next exercise, the ankle chain stability test. We're having the leg at the outside, and we're pressing the front half of the main part of the body, and we're pressing into the ground of the leg a bit. Commemorates those who died fighting in the UK and its allies. Originally, it commemorated the date of the First World War, which ended on the 11th November 1918. People were Popeyes. Red Floor's one of the battlefields of the First World War. At 11 a.m. there's a 2-minute silence. So two things. 2-minute silence, and refs are later to Senate of Whitehall in London. The first thing is, it originally commemorated the dead of the First World War. If we said somewhere else that it was for someone else, I heard something to something. So it could be that it does now also commemorate the died civilians or so. But what that it means also for the Second World War, but I think that would I know. Okay, now that thing just a little bit, we had that subject a couple of times, so when I'm talking now about that, I'm continuing the conversations we had in the past about that subject. I'm not sure if everyone can follow that far. So the idea is, why 2 minutes? And originally it commemorated. What if also the Second World War is commemorated? But, yeah, do it again. I didn't want to say it, I just wanted to bring the conversation now to a better end. I don't think so. I would know if the Second World War would be also commemorated at the Senate of Whitehall in London. but it's possible, and we keep wondering why is he written originally the date of the First World War. What has changed? What is now anymore, not anymore originally? And the second thing, I said something about that the poppies were growing in Flanders and the battlefields in France. And that's all true, just this one thing. I came just across Flanders, and Flanders is in Belgium, not in France. There are 3 regions of Flanders, and there is the western part, the middle part, and the eastern part, or something like that. But it seems that Flanders is in Belgium, not in France. Now, I don't know how the borders were 100 years ago, but today Flanders seems to be in Belgium, and only, solely in Belgium, and not in France. There's the historical region of France, of Flanders, and that is in Belgium, and the 3, whatever that now are of Belgium, are also in Belgium, and not in France. So Flanders seems to be in Belgium. I still think that where the poppies are growing, there was the First World War, and now these people wearing these red poppies to commemorate the people who died there. And we're doing the exercise with our leg, and we're pressing again the leg in. Just the thing, Flanders is not in France but Belgium, but maybe 100 years ago the borders were differently. Most were too confusing. Let's go back to back here. And it ended then. So I think we have now prepared our video, which we can do to shoot about First World War. It's going to take around a minute, and then you can come back in 10 years, so other people can watch it, and they can look in 1 minute, not like a book, but written, explained like a human, like a little presentation. Say it, and we're pressing still into the ground. But we're not going to shoot it now during the leg stretching. We're going to do it in the next video, maybe even the next video when. Yes, in the next video, that's good. Now we have 3 minutes, and we can look a bit to the next video, which we will do after the video. That will be the partition of Ireland. A little bit of it. I don't know how we're going to call it, it's not enough information here. The title would be misleading, but in the year 1913 did the British government promise home rule for Ireland. In the 19th century, the Irish nationalist movement had grown strongly. There were the Fenians, they wanted complete independence of Ireland. Do we make completely about Ireland? No, we're going to do at least one more than about Ireland. We already had one to the potato famine, and we're going to the next exercise. The leg to the outside, press with the leg into the ground, and then bring the leg up and again in. That is the hydraulic carjack. We will do at least one more about the Ireland, so we not have to go forward now, how it got on, then with the trouble and so on. So all we now need is the partition of Ireland and maybe the backstory. Irish nationalist movement growing 19th century, where the Fenians, complete independence, and Charles Stuart Parnell, home rule. Part of the United Kingdom, but own government. 1913, did the British government propose home rule? A home rule bill was introduced. It was opposed by the Protestants from the north of Ireland. And they threatened to resist the home rule by force. Yeah. Flex foot, and we're bringing it up, adding it in. 1913. 1914 did the First World War break out, and the British government postponed. I don't know how the word is supposed to be pronounced. There are not many people using it. It's oftentimes written, but not spoken. Postponed the whole thing. The changes in the governments of Ireland. The Home Rule Bill. The Irish nationalists were not willing to wait. But that took too long. But it was postponed too long. Let's express it this way. In the year 1916, there was the Easter Rising in Dublin against the British. The uprising was defeated, and the leaders of this uprising were under military law verdicted. I don't know what the word is, and executed. In 1921, a peace treaty was signed. In 1922, Ireland became 2 countries. I cannot go on from execution to peace treaty. What did then in between? In 1921, a peace treaty was signed, and in 1922, Ireland became 2 countries. 6 counties in the north, Protestant, Northern Ireland, and the rest became the Irish Free State, which then became a republic in the year 1949. So we will then in the next video do this first World War and the Iron Partition. I thank you very much, and until the next time.